The Donner Party. Back in the winter, 1846. 87 people, wagons packed with everything they owned, headed west toward California, toward a better life, towards something they could finally call their own. They never made it. What happened to the Donner Party isn't just a survival story. It's a story about what ordinary people become when everything goes wrong at once. It all started with a shortcut. A man named Lansford Hastings had published a guidebook claiming he knew a faster route to California. Save weeks of travel, he said. The Donner Party believed him. That was the mistake that killed nearly half of them. The so-called shortcut shredded their wagons on terrain that was barely passable on foot. The desert section alone took a full month longer than Hastings had promised. Animals collapsed from exhaustion and heat. Food supplies that were supposed to last the whole journey started disappearing fast. And the whole time, winter was getting closer. By the time they finally cleared Hastings' route, they were already behind, dangerously behind. They hit the Sierra Nevada in late October. Then the snow came. Not a dusting, not a manageable storm. Walls of snow, drifts 10, 15, 20 feet deep, burying the mountain passes completely. In a matter of days, the trail forward was gone. The trail back was gone. They were sealed in. They built shelters near what is now called Donner Lake, crude cabins. Some people used wagon tarps. They rationed what little food they had left, slaughtered the remaining livestock, and told themselves help would come. Help did not come. Within weeks, they were eating dogs, then leather, boiled ox hides, strips of harness, anything with even a trace of nutrition. Survivors later described the camps as almost completely silent, not peaceful, but the silence of people too weak to speak. Children stopped crying because crying burns calories. Adults lay still in the dark, trying not to move. One by one, people started dying. And then came the decision that haunted every survivor for the rest of their lives. They ate the dead. Most accounts are clear. They did not kill anyone for food. The people they consumed had already died from starvation, but knowing that doesn't make it easier to process. These were neighbors, friends, in some cases, family members. The psychological weight of that choice, made not out of depravity, but out of desperation, destroyed people long after they were rescued. In December, 17 of the strongest remaining survivors strapped homemade snowshoes to their feet and walked into the mountains. They called themselves the Forlorn Hope, which, honestly, tells you everything about their state of mind. The plan was simple: cross the mountains, reach civilization, send help back. The reality was anything but. Blizzards hit them within days. They ran out of food. People started dropping. Those who kept walking looked, by survivor accounts, like skeletons wrapped in frozen skin, eyes sunken, lips cracked, moving forward on pure mechanical instinct. The Forlorn Hope also resorted to cannibalism. Of the 17 who set out, 8 survived to reach help. When rescue teams finally reached the camps, they were not prepared for what they found. Bodies in the snow. Survivors so emaciated they could barely lift their heads. Some people had been in those cabins for 3 months. Children were carried out by hand because they couldn't walk. Multiple rescue missions had to go back because the weather made it impossible to bring everyone out at once. Some survivors had to be left behind temporarily while rescuers took the weakest first. 41 people died out of 87. Here's the thing about the Donner Party that gets lost in the horror of the details. These were not reckless people. They were not foolish people. They were families trying to build a better life who trusted bad information, got hit by catastrophically bad weather, and were forced by circumstance into choices that no human being should ever have to make. The Donner Party endures in history not because it's a story about monsters. It endures because it's a story about ordinary people and how thin the line actually is between civilization and survival.